Alright, hello everybody, welcome back to another review video. This one is a re-review of a game I reviewed more than a year ago. This review and video has been requested by the developer. I believe it's pronounced Senoka, and this is a indie star shooter, 2D star shooter game, the kind of game that I typically enjoy, but a game that if you look at my review more than a year ago, back on June 15th, 2020, the 99.061520, that was the date that I reviewed it. And the reason I made it 99 point the date was because I was holding off on Miss Number 100 for Day of Dragons, a big budget asset mashed together game that definitely deserved to have that 100th Miss video. But this video here, I believe I gave like a 0 because I saw no effort in the game. You see that right now it only has 3 user reviews. I bought this game at a ridiculous $19.99 back on June 15th of 2020 to review it. You do see the developer has cut the price down in half, and we'll see in this video whether it was enough. But you'll see here that I score the game at a dismal 1% score. Not recommended by at any cost, even for free. So we're going to find out if them, lowering the price by $10 to just $9.99 is going to make a difference, because last year I said any price would be a ripoff. So there are multiple problems with this game, guys, and this developer. So I'm going to have a link to this down below, but if you look here, guys, you'll see that Sentinels of the Storm, my good buddy Mellow Online, covered this, and so did my buddy Sid Alpha, a fellow YouTube content creator, last year. And so did a website called ChristCenteredGamer. And what happened here is the developer submitted his game to be reviewed over at a game review website called ChristCenteredGamer, where that review can be seen here. Again, I'll have links to all of these places down below in the description. But this ChristCenteredGamer reviewed the game, basically said it was utter junk, said weak points are everything, basically. Anyway, ChristCenteredGamer took that key the developer gave him and gave him a 16% score. So the morality score was good because it doesn't have any blood and gore or nudity or anything like that. But here is the score that ChristCenteredGamer gave him after the developer gave him his key. Now, with that, the developer lashed out at the website and says the game was sent for review. I didn't expect it was going to be literally picked apart like it was in the review. I'm not mad because of the anger or the negative review. What angers me is how the review focused more on picking the game apart and slandering every aspect and insulting my ability. Well, when you submit a key for a broken game, you really shouldn't be surprised when it's picked apart. If you feel, that you've been insulted by the game getting insulted, maybe make your game better, before you release it on Steam, especially at a hefty $20 price tag. So the developer also basically threatened to take lawsuit against the website and, who put their video up on YouTube, and said that they need to remove their video. Right here it says, I suggest you remove your defamatory review, like I asked, before I seek other action and legal action as well. So I can make a legal case out of this, he says. It's not an actual review. It's just somebody rambling about what they don't like about my game in an unfair way, using defamatory language. Okay, so I'm not the full copyright owner, but I can legally do that. So basically he threatens the reviewer he submitted a key to take down the review because he didn't like that the review didn't like his game. And then he said, give her a negative review all day long, but a slanderous review with a basis on opinion, not knowing what you're talking about, it's just not caring what you're saying, is where it gets different. So all of this crap is basically a developer who can't handle the heat. He's dishing, putting his game out there, offering Steam keys for his game for review, and then he can't handle the brutality and honesty of a negative review for his game in a very bad state. So fast forward here, guys, we now have an email that was sent to me after I left this negative review on the game back on June 15th and covered everything in that video. So you see Sid Alpha also gave the game a negative review. It has 4 reviews. You see a couple of days later on June 15th, I gave the game a negative review. Yeah, Sid Alpha reviewed it on June 14th. I reviewed it on June 15th. Gave it a 1% score we've already looked at. This guy covered it about 9 days later. He also gave it a negative review. And then the fourth person gave the game a negative review in October. And so you see the developer has responded to every single negative review. And if you do look, he has put out a lot of updates to the game. In the last year, there are a lot of patches and updates to the game. Huge 3.0 update, etc., that was put out back in April. And he also sent me an email, which I copied here. This came to me last week. The developer of Starclaw, is owner of Sinoka and developer of Starclaw, Battle of Space, Starspace, Nebula. I'm writing to ask if you would consider giving Starclaw another look and possibly an updated review on Steam and YouTube. If you had previously reimbursed, he basically offered me a key. He said this is the 1-year anniversary, and since then the game has received numerous updates, including lowering the price from $19.99 to $9.99. He also says myself and the original reviewer at ChristCenteredGamer have come to terms. They gave Starclaw a second look. They start the review off with a comments about the dispute, but to make a long story short, things happened and there was tension from both sides. Fortunately, the situation has been diffused and no hard feelings on the other end. The second look was based on the 2.0 version. And anyway, he said he's made 3.0 since then. Now, if we look at their second review, the first review time they reviewed the game, it got a 16%. In February of this year, the re-review was done. As you can see, a second look. And in February, they gave the review. It scored just a little bit better. Still a negative score, a 22% was their overall score. With a gameplay still only getting a 3 out of 20. That's horrible gameplay. So that's what we have now, guys. We have the developer reaching out to me, asking for me to give the game another review. So without looking at the game, we're going to go ahead and look at Starclaw, Battle of Starspace Nebula, and see if this game is actually any better at the request of the developer himself. Zaxter 99. Alright, welcome back everybody. Here is the game when you launch it. I do have a controller plugged in, and it's very non-user friendly. So you have to hit A on the options, and then if you want to go full screen here, you have to hit left to actually have that take place. It's very, very weird. And then when you go to the volumes here, you have to hit A, and then you have to like hit your up directional pad. Hitting like up on the stick won't work. You have to use your up on the directional pad, and then you have to lock that sound effect in where you want, and then hit A, and then B for back. It's just very cumbersome and not user-friendly at all. And then we have the music volume as well, which we want to lock in at like 5%. But it doesn't seem like it's taking. I'm hitting A to set the volume there, and I hit back. But then if I come back to the music volume again, we see that it's set at 100% again. It's just very, very weird and very non-friendly. I do think we've lowered the volume though, because it came in blasting loud and I didn't want to break your eardrum. So I tried to adjust it before I started recording. So anyway, let's go ahead and go into the story mode here. We're going to go to a new game since we haven't played yet. And let's confirm, just one player. Choose player input. No, we're just going to continue the game. In a galaxy not far from Earth. Okay, here A is doing nothing. None of my... Okay, it's the triangle button that moves me on. See what I mean? It's just cumbersome. In a solar system in Starspace Nebula, home of the hardworking inhabitants who work on mining precious resources to be refined in their energy, both Starspace Nebula and Earth benefited from the resources that each of the inhabitants supplied. But this long-standing relationship between Starspace Nebula and Earth was threatened when a mysterious invasion suddenly occurred. So it's just weird that we would hit the triangle button here. And now the game just completely takes control for me. I can't move. I guess this is supposed to be like some little movie. And notice how the volume has just gotten super loud here, guys. Yeah, the volume is definitely not 5% or 10% like I set. So I'm having to manually adjust the volume through OBS and on my headset. because the volume that you set in the game, even if you figure out how to set it, doesn't work for shit. So I'm having to lower the volume to like the 10% on OBS manually. It was like the ships were coming out of nowhere, or something was controlling a black hole, or sending ships by the thousands to attack to take over. In response to this threat, the Galactic Federation of Starspace Nebula called for help. So basically, yes, they call you in, and we know the story here. Koei Starclaw, or Captain Starclaw, was part of the Galactic Defense Patrol, who helped to protect the workers and citizens of Starspace Nebula from space pirates while they mined resources to send back to Earth. After receiving this mission by the Galactic Federation of Starspace Nebula, Captain Starclaw went out to defend the galaxy of Starspace Nebula once more. Even though the galaxy of Starspace Nebula is Koei's home, he also wanted to protect the Earth from the mysterious invasion should they choose to go that far. Seems like a lot of jabber to get to the point of the game where you're basically fighting enemy spaceships. Alright. So I remember the same thing last year, guys, when we reviewed the game. The game spawns us and we fall below the screen. And I haven't done anything. I haven't touched any controls. So I'm basically like gravity, like the stars flying beneath me. I'm not touching the controls. So I can pull my ship back up with the left stick, and then I get this message. Enemy fleet detected ahead. I'm on it, says Captain Starclaw. Let us know if you need any reinforcements, says the commander. I got this, says Captain Starclaw. So again, it's pulling me downwards, right? I'm having to use my stick to... And then we have this mess of a game with like 500 enemies on us at once. And it's impossible to tell what's going on because the stars are as big as the fucking bullets from the enemies. Like, this game, and the game continues to pull me downwards and suck me down off the screen. Like, I don't know how this developer has had so many updates on this game. I don't even know where I'm at now. Okay, I'm down there, sucked down to the bottom again. It's impossible to see where the hell I'm at. I'm hitting... Look at these collisions, guys. The collisions aren't even working. Like, I am colliding... Well, I bounce off the UFOs, but there's no explosions at all. Like, looking at me flipping around here, guys, and moving right through these red enemies, does this look like a game that's worth $10 or $20 as it was priced at last year? Does this look like a game that you would want to play? There's bullets everywhere. The stars are way too goddamn big. The stars are as big as the enemy bullets, and everything is just a clusterfuck of a mess here. I am baffled at how this developer finds this game such an accomplishment, I guess. Why he would be so offended by somebody not liking his game. The game has 4 negative reviews, no positive reviews in a year, and he's continuing to seek re-reviews by somebody last year who gave his game a 1% score. I mean, looking at the game now, I gotta ask, yes, I understand the developers put out a lot of updates, but what has he updated? Because this game is still a goddamn mess. What has he done? Because this looks and plays horribly. Now notice I am not moving downwards. I am let go of my controls and I'm not sinking downwards. Is that because I have this shield below me? Or is this because I am being told to move upwards? Now if I let go, again, I'm getting sucked downwards off the screen. What if I move up off the screen here? I can't even see myself. And then I respawn down below. I can't go off the right-hand side, and I can't go off the left-hand side. But to the developer, your game should be priced at like 99 cents. And even then, I would question charging any amount of money for the gameplay that we have here. And if you're wondering why I think the game is so bad, yes, I can move. But first of all, it's almost impossible to see the enemies. The bullets are coming from every direction, so it makes it almost impossible to dodge. Okay, if you want to fix your game, First of all, you need to keep the enemies all up here, right? And the only way they should come down is if they move in a pattern like downwards, kind of like look at like Galaga or Galaxian from the 80s, right? Where the enemies would come down in a pattern you could see, but they didn't just pop in like an inch from you down at the bottom. Not only that, if you want to make your game better, these bullets, there's so many of them and they're coming from so many random directions, it makes it almost impossible to dodge these bullets. Right now, your enemies are spawning in a good spot, but look at all these bullets. How are you supposed to not get hit? These bullets are coming from every fucking which way and at them, and I can't even move because you have colliders that make you so you can't move through these enemies. And then the game just randomly says game over. It doesn't show me exploding. It doesn't warn me that my health is getting low. It just feels like a random game over. So if we continue from the last save, why is my ship getting sucked down? Right? I'm supposed to be flying through space. I understand the stars moving downwards against my own momentum in space, but I shouldn't be sucked downwards off the screen without even moving. I'm not even touching a control. But look how hard this is to dodge all these enemies and bullets coming from every which way and at them. Not only that, they're almost impossible to see next to the stars flying through space. It's just very, very cumbersome and awkward, and I keep hitting collisions or invisible walls. So as I'm trying to maneuver here, I keep getting, like, I'm getting bounced off not just the blue rockets, but I am getting knocked around. I don't know if I'm getting knocked around by collisions with the fucking stars or just random invisible walls. But my mobility is severely restricted right now due to what feels like invisible walls. Like, I feel like I'm hitting nothing, but I'm restricted. This gameplay is god-awful. This gameplay is no better this year than it was last year. And like so many of my reviews that I've done over the years, I failed to find this game in any better of a state than it was a year ago, despite how many updates you may have done. Why am I not launching one of those big bullets that I saw a minute ago? There it goes. I have to let go of the button. Okay, so again, that's just very awkward. Why not just have it automatically shoot? So I hold down the button. I guess when I'm flashing, I'm ready. I let go and then it goes. But it doesn't matter. I mean, this game is just absolutely horrendous. It's disgusting looking. All these stars are way, way, way too big. For one, they're an eyesore. The stars are an eyesore and they're moving way too fast. Secondly, why is my ship moving downward when I'm not even holding down? Right? Why do I have no collisions with these enemy ships, but I seem to be running into invisible walls all over the place and not hitting anything? The controls and the maneuverability is god-awful, complete crap in this game. This is just not a fun and enjoyable game to play because the controls are so terrible. It's too hard to see what's going on, and all these fucking bullets moving every which way makes the game even more cumbersome and feel just like a big pile of shit. There's way too many bullets going in way too many directions to feel fair, polished, or fun. Look at all these fucking bullets right here, guys. This is utter crap. And to the developer, for you to still be sending me an email, asking me to look at your game a second time is beyond comprehension. It almost feels like you're trolling. The fact that you released this game at $20 for what it is, and now have lowered the price to $9.99, and after not getting a single positive review in your first year, only negative reviews, and you're writing me again, you asking me to re-review your game, it almost seems like you're an utter troll. It seems like you're trying to be as bad as possible. And if you're being serious, if this is a serious game, then you seriously need to find another hobby or another line of work. If this is the best you could come up with after a year of updates and after a year, more than a year of the game being on Steam, please, for fuck's sake, never create another game. You are not made for this. It's, like I said, it's almost like you have no concept or idea of how a game should play. Even a simple 2D space shooter. You have bullets going every which fucking way. You have random Yeah, I mean, you have random fucking invisible walls as you're moving through space. Look at all these enemies. You run right through them. Look at the stars and they're moving, and it's bad. And all these fucking bullets, if these were going one way, if these bullets were coming just, straight down at you, that would at least be manageable. But instead, these bullets are going every which way, which makes it almost impossible to maneuver around. Your ship is also too fucking big to be able to maneuver in the tight quarters that you have, even if you did have better maneuverability, which you don't. Again, if game is a serious game, and if you seriously put out all these updates after a year, and this is what you have, you should shut this game down and never create another game again. I hate to say it. I don't think I've ever told any developer this before, because if this is something you love, if indie developers love making games, then so be it. Get better, like make a second, a third, fourth game and get better at what you do. But with your game here, it almost, like I said, it almost seems like you have no concept of how a good game should play. And a 2D space shooter is about as simple as you can get. But this is just a goddamn mess. And you should feel shame in what you have here on Steam. You should feel shame with the 16 and 22% scores you've got on ChristCenteredGamer website. And you should feel shame that after a year, you still don't even have a single positive review. There might be a reason that you haven't got a positive review yet in over a year. It might not just be that everybody hates you and is out to get you, right? It might not be that everybody's just jealous of your amazing game and out to attack your bad game. Your game sucks, man. And your indie development sucks as a game developer. You're terrible at doing this. You might be great at doing other things. I don't know whether you're great at cooking or whether you're great at, hunting, or maybe you're great at factory work or whatever you're good at, but it is definitely not game development. You need to pack your bags and go home, man. Game development is not something that you're destined to do. I hate to tell you the cold hard truth, but this is a perfect example of when you do something this bad, you need to find another something to do. Maybe you need to watch Bob Ross and paint a picture or something like that. But game development isn't isn't something you're good at, man. And based on this game, I don't think you'll ever be good at developing games based on how bad this game is after a year of trying to make it better. That's the cold hard truth. I'm here to give you the cold hard truth. I know it sucks, but this is just bad, man. And I don't know that anybody's ever going to give you a positive review on what you have here. I think you could send this game to 1,000 different people, and I'd be surprised if one of them gave you a positive review, unless they were just trying to be a troll or trying to be funny, as like a meme. It really does make me wonder if you're not trying to be a troll yourself and launch a god-awful game and act like your typical angry, developer who can't take criticism. Is this game just a joke? I'm starting to think that it is. I'm starting to think that this is just a troll game and that you're just a troll. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Let me know what you guys think, though. This game is just so bad. Take care. I'd love to know what you guys say down in the comments below.